We run down on your feature event, 25 laps. On the pole is car number 98, Bud Finale of Jamestown, New York, a 1957 Chevy. Off the pole, car number 220, Chuck Piazza of Jamestown, New York.
Bobby, everybody used to tease me that I used to get beat by the farmer kid out of Bustye. Yeah. He had a friend that used to come to the garage all the time. He's always teasing me. You let that little farm boy beat you again, huh? Bobby was terrific. He had some good help around him. They had good cars. You know, Frosty was there, and Whitey, I think, was there at the time. They built some good stuff, and he knew how to drive it. And I think he was ahead of us a little bit on clutches and stuff. I've never been able to prove that. I'm going to ask Bobby someday. But I had heard he had the first clutch that what they called them.
Triple disc.
Triple disc. I think he was the first one to come out with that nobody knew about. And I think it was Chuck Piazza who used to pump that information up to him, because Chuck was down south working for the race boys down there.
So here's the most important question I got to ask, because it's come up on a few occasions. Tonight we're honoring Sammy LaMancuso at the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame. Your reason for being here. We've interviewed Sammy, and we interviewed Sammy about certain drivers and their abilities. And whenever we talked about Bobby Schnars and one, he would always muse about how Bobby was so much better than everybody else, including him. Now, he's always surmised that there was a guy down in North Carolina named Chuck Piazza, old friend, who was feeding Bobby with the latest technology. And it was just a question mark. So here we are at the Jackson Center in 2017, an arena of justice and truth.
Yeah.
So is there any truth to the rumor that you fed Bobby those years?
Possibly. Bobby and I were always, really good friends. And even when I moved to South Carolina, Bobby used to bring his family down when, during the off season, after we quit race, or after y'all quit racing up here. He had a little pickup truck, had a pickup camper on the back of it, and he'd bring Joanna and the children and come to our house and visit him. It wasn't often, but it was several times. It was always great to see him. And one particular visit, we had a race going on up at Shelby, North Carolina. And I said, Bobby, you wanna come up? And I was racing and I had to be there. So he came up and I said, Bobby, I need to find you a ride up here because, you know, you're a talent and I've spoke about you a lot to these guys around here. And I know they'd like to see you run, and I would too. The only problem was there wasn't a really top 3 or 4 car for him to drive. So I scouted around and I found him maybe about a top 10 car, 10th, and talked him into letting Bobby drive it. It was a day race, and we was running at Shelby Fairgrounds in North Carolina. Long track, dry slick, and but Bobby got in the car, and he gave it a pretty good ride. I think he finished 5th or 6th, something like that, which was 4 or 5 spots better than the car was really capable of running. So it kind of spoke for itself what he could do. And but that was just one case, and I think he had fun. I had fun too, and so we would talk racing, and certainly, and maybe a comment or two got slipped to Bobby that, but no more deserving driver to have any extra information. He carried most everything by himself. He was that kind of driver.